Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to 90 Day Fiancé latest news. Mike Youngquist was pleasantly seated in his rustic-style house as the sun started to set, throwing a golden glow across the great Washington countryside. Nestled among tall evergreen trees, his cabin had always been his haven, a place where he would flee the sounds of the outer world. But tonight the world was about to crash in. Mike sat on his worn-out leather couch, phone in hand, fixed on the screen. Not with anxiety, but with the exhilaration of revealing something that would permanently alter his life, his heart hammered with expectation. Sara Rose moved slightly next him, laying her hands on her developing baby bulge. Her flowing, silky garment complemented the fresh life developing inside her. She was clearly glowing, a warmth emanating from her as she softly stroked her tummy. Her eyes full of affection and a trace of amusement at his uncertainty, she turned to Mike. "Are you really going to sit there and stare at your phone all night?" she asked, gently prodding him. Mike laughed and released a long breath. "This is a major turning point. I cannot go back once I publish this. The entire planet will be known." Sara grinned and bent in closer. "And that's a positive thing. We are ready to start a family. You are happy. I am happy. Tell them, let's." Looking at her, Mike felt warmth rising in his chest. This certainty about anything had never come naturally to him before. In his former relationships, there had always been uncertainty, questions, problems that appeared unworkable. But everything felt simple with Sara. Writes. Looking back at his phone, he reread the caption he had typed, what felt like the 100th time. "Bombshell news, everyone. I am going to be a dad. Overwhelmingly happy to welcome our new one into the world, our Sara and I. Looking forward this next phase of life." Red heart, backhand index pointing right, #blessed, #fatherhood. He exhaled one last time and then deliberately tapped post. He laid down the phone and felt a flood of relief. It was out there right now. The world might say whatever it wanted. Nothing could make him feel differently. Sara, beaming, rested a hand on his. "See, that wasn't that difficult." Mike pulled her near and grinned. "Nope, and I wouldn't change a thing either." Curled on her couch in her poorly lit flat, Natalie Mordovtseva sipped a glass of wine. She hardly saw the city lights of Tampa glitter beyond her window. After a hard day, she was lazily surfing Instagram, catching up on updates from friends, celebrities, and fellow 90 Day Fiancé cast members. Her life had veered in many unanticipated directions. She had planned to find someone better, someone who shared her future vision, after divorcing Mike. Still, nothing seemed to go according to her plans. She still was looking and still hoped. Her thumb also stopped at last. An article. Mike's entry. Her heart skipped a beat as she fixed her gaze on the picture. Mike and a brilliant woman holding a very clear baby bump. Breath seized Natalie in her throat. Not at all, she read the caption, and her hands shook just little. "I will be a dad." The words mixed together as a flood of feelings tore across her chest. Surprise. Not sure. Then rage. Her hands tightened around her phone as memories poured into her consciousness. "I'm not ready for that kind of dedication. I'm not sure if I identify as a father. I simply need more time." She had urged Mike toward a family. She had tried to make it work, battled through every challenge, persuaded herself that he would be ready finally. Right now. Now he was performing the ideal spouse, the loving soon-to-be father, the man who was at last ready for the future he had denied her. Rising from the couch, Natalie paced back and forth while her chest rises and falls with every deep breath. There is nothing real about this. It was unfair. Her mind ran. Should she send him a text? Ask him? No, that kind of gratification was not deserved by him. Rather, her wrath bubbled over in a way millions would see. She left the live button tapped. Her blue eyes ablaze with feeling, her face dominated the screen. Thousands of individuals turned in within seconds. She started, so, her voice harsh and erratic. "Mike Youngquist is having a baby." The remarks came fast. "OMG, what? Wait, what's happening? Girl, let me spill the tea." Natalie gave out a sour laugh. "This is the same man who informed me he lacked family readiness. The same man I felt I was asking for too much. I was stressing him. And currently? Suddenly, his father of the year?" More comments started to pour in. Some cruel, some encouraging. "Sis, you turned aside a bullet. Let him pass. Sound like someone still in love. She's really out here pressed over her ex." He went on. Perhaps you ought to as well. Natalie's face became firm. Her voice quiet but full of poison. She leaned in closer to the camera. Mike, I hope your blessings provide enjoyment. Karma, though, is observing. She cut off the live stream with that. Her heart was thumping. Her apartment's quiet felt absolutely deafening at first. She pushed a hand to her brow as she flung her phone across the couch. The reality was plain regardless of her best efforts to persuade herself she was over it. It still aches. Mike shook his head as he went over his alerts, seeing videos of Natalie's rage all around social media. He groaned and massaged his back of the neck. He had anticipated a reaction, but not this. Sara, who had been browsing next to him, let out a little snick. Fascinating. She truly started to go off. Mike let out a puff. Definitely. But let her. Sara turned to observe his face. You really not bothered by it? Mike turned to smile gently at her. Nope. I am content. That is all that counts. Sara leaned in, and he put an arm around her to plant a kiss on her forehead. Outside, views, conjecture, and drama danced around. None of that mattered, though, within this house where love and fresh life blossomed. Nothing, not even Natalie's resentment, could pull this delight from him. This gossip is over. If you liked the video, then give your opinion in the comment box and stay with us by subscribing the channel. Thank you.